Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Luke here. Today I'm going to show you how to create a pattern brush, corners and all. So for this brush, we'll need to decide on what we want the pattern to be to begin with. And as you can see here, I've created what is a bob-on with a really long fuse. And the brush itself is actually the fuse section. And to create this, what you're going to want to do is start with a simple shape. I have created a series of simple shapes here, and this is how you turn these into a pattern brush. So firstly, what I advise you do is draw out a square. Let's just separate this for a second. Now, this square doesn't want to have a fill, but I'm going to fill it with a stroke just for a second so you can see. This square wants to meet up at the start and end points of the shape, which is going to make up the straight portion of your path. And it wants to be at the back, so you want to make sure it's sent to the back. So arrange center back, and you're going to want to make sure it doesn't have a fill. So whatever shape you decide to have in here, you'll basically want to make sure that it would meet up properly on either side. To start the process of turning this into a pattern brush, you want to select both the square outline, which is again sent to the back, and the shape you've drawn, and you're just going to want to drag it into your brushes section and make sure you select pattern brush. And you can see here, it'll come up with a little preview. You can see the corners are a little bit messy. I mean, you could use this if you wanted, but we're going to want to tidy this up just a little bit in this instance. So for now, just press OK. To create this corner section, let me show you how I did it so that you might be able to do it the same way for your brush. It's probably the best way you can do it. So for now, I'm going to move this over here. And to do this, and again, I'm going to delete this box. So select both the box and the shape again. And the first thing you want to do is you're going to want to hold Alt and to copy it while you drag it across, or just press Command or Control C and then Control F to paste it in place, and then drag it across so that these squares meet up. Now you're going to want to copy it again, and this time you're going to want to drag it down, you're going to want to rotate it, and then you're going to want to basically meet it up again here at the bottom of the other square so that you're left with this. Now you have this copied, so now let's select these here, copy this up. Then you have a cross section, and then using the shape builder tool, select both shapes within this square that you've copied. Use your shape builder, and while holding Alt to minus, you just want to get rid of these two, and then to get rid of this bit, just with the direct select tool, select the two top half points, and then make sure these meet. And then select both this, and merge. And there you are left with a corner section for the path. So to add this to the corner, again, select both the surrounding square, which should be sent to back. So just double check that. Grab your shape, drag it over while holding Alt to this first block of your pattern brush here, and then let go. And there you go. You can see your corner has been added to the pattern. We're still left with this one here. To remedy that, you're going to want to do the same, but let's just for a second, let's have a look at how this ends, how the pattern brush ends for this intersection. It doesn't end how we have positioned the other shape to begin with. Instead, it almost starts the shape again, but only finishes halfway. To remedy that, for the sake of this tutorial, this will do. I have taken this section here of the shape, and I've got rid of the rest of it. I've clipped out the rest of it, and I've added it to the endpoints of our corner shape. And then if we, with the square again, with the box again, make sure it's sent to back, drag this here, hold Alt, and drag it to the end section. You can see it adds a little corner bit there. I could make some tweaks to perfect it, but for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to leave it be. Now, if you're going to want to change the color of this pattern brush at any point, you want to make sure that your method of colorization is selected tints. Now, let's say we want to draw out a path. You select the pattern brush we have just created, and there you go. You can see you've got a square. using the pattern you've just created. You can do this also with a circle. Create almost like a flower effect with this particular shape, this particular pattern. Those. And something I made previously here is the bob-on illustration. So you can apply a pattern brush to lots of different scenarios, and in this instance it worked quite well as the fuse of a bob-on, and then I led the fuse all the way around and created almost like a border. In here you could have a screenshot of some gameplay if you so wish, but it's worth having a play around and experimenting for sure. Now, as I mentioned, if you want to change the color of this path, you have selected tints. Now, we're going to our swatches and we want to select red. But just for example's sake, let's say we hadn't have selected tints. Let's go back in and just select none. Apply. It's going to be black. Even though red is selected up here, the actual color of the pattern is just going to remain black because you haven't put in a option to change the color. So we're going to go back to tints, apply strokes, and then it goes back to red again. So that is the basics of creating a pattern brush inside Adobe Illustrator. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any further questions, please pop them down in the comments. I'll do my best to answer. And if you did like this video, then please feel free to like and subscribe to the channel for more Adobe Illustrator tips and tricks and process videos. Until next time, everybody, stay creative.